Have you ever walked into a store and just, noticed the music playing?
Mm-hmm.
It's more than just background noise, isn't it? It feels like. Well, often it's a carefully curated soundtrack.
Absolutely. It's strategic.
And it's part of this this booming sort of behind-the-scenes industry you might not even know about.
That's right.
So today we're taking a deep dive into the global in-store music service market.
And our insights for this, they come directly from a really detailed report by Cognitive Market Research.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and it's packed with some honestly fascinating figures. Tells you a lot about how businesses are thinking.
Right. So our goal for you today is, well, to unpack these numbers, reveal the surprising scale of this market, and understand where it's all headed.
Mm-hmm.
So let's kick off with the big picture. Globally, this market generated, get this, USD 1,233.6 million in sales revenue back in 2021.
It's a big number already. But what's truly striking, I think, is the momentum.
Right.
This isn't static. That $1.23 billion figure is projected to nearly double to USD 1,826.4 million by 2025.
Wow.
And then it really takes off, projected to hit an astonishing USD 4,107.1 million by 2033.
Over 4 billion.
Exactly. We're talking about a compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of 10.5%.
Okay.
Which is, significant expansion for an industry that maybe on the surface seems a bit niche.
Definitely sounds niche at first glance, yeah. Shows how much value businesses are placing on it.
Precisely. Customer engagement, ambiance. It's all part of the experience.
Okay, so let's unpack this regionally, starting with North America. It was the largest market in 2021.
That's right. Yep. North America alone back in 2021 accounted for USD 501.5 million.
So a huge slice of that global pie.
A very big slice.
Yeah.
And it's anticipated to grow significantly from there, reaching USD 726.2 million by 2025.
Okay.
And then accelerating to over 1.6 billion. USD 1,627.6 million, by 2033.
Still growing strong then.
Yeah, that reflects a solid CAGR of 10.2%. So it's clearly maintaining its heavyweight status.
And if we drill down into that, the United States, it must dominate, right?
Oh, absolutely. The U.S. market was responsible for USD 421.2 million of that 501 million in 2021.
Wow.
And it's projected to hit a staggering USD 1.315 billion by 2033.
Just the U.S.?
Just the U.S., growing at a robust 10.1% CAGR.
Okay. And what about Canada and Mexico?
Yeah, good question. Canada also shows strong growth.
Yeah.
It started at USD 41.5 million in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
projected to grow to USD 147.6 million by 2033. It's actually an impressive 11.1% CAGR for Canada.
Higher than the U.S. then?
Slightly higher rate, yeah. But here's where it gets, like you said earlier, really interesting.
Okay.
Mexico.
Ah.
Smaller base in 2021, USD 38.8 million.
Mm-hmm.
So less than Canada.
Right.
But it's projected to grow faster than both, reaching USD 164.9 million by 2033.
Okay, so overtaking Canada in total value eventually.
Potentially, yeah. And it boasts the highest North American CAGR at 12.6%.
12.6%. That's quite a jump. What's driving that, do we think?
Well, the report suggests it could signal a quickly modernizing retail sector there.
Makes sense.
And, a burgeoning middle class, more disposable income, businesses wanting to create those sophisticated experiences.
So they're investing heavily in catching up or even leapfrogging in terms of that customer experience.
Exactly. It makes Mexico a really critical market to watch for future expansion. Shows that even within, an established region like North America, there are these pockets of really dynamic growth.
Fascinating. Okay, let's shift gears now. Across the Atlantic to Europe, another big market, I assume.
Very significant, yeah. It tells a slightly different story, maybe a bit more steady.
Okay.
The European market was valued at USD 232.4 million in 2021.
Right.
And it's set to grow steadily, reaching over USD 725 million by 2033.
So still strong growth.
Definitely. It's maintaining a strong 10.1% CAGR overall for the region.
10.1%, very close to North America's overall rate.
Exactly. It indicates a perhaps more mature market, but one that's consistently growing. Businesses clearly see the value there too.
And within Europe, who are the main players? UK, Germany?
Yep. Those are key contributors.
Sure.
The UK, for instance, brought in USD 34.8 million in 2021.
Okay.
And it's on track for over USD 124 million by 2033. That's a healthy 11.2% CAGR.
So again, slightly higher than the regional average there.
A little bit, yeah. Germany's right there too. Started a bit higher at USD 37.6 million in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
projected to exceed USD 126 million by 2033 with the 10.7% CAGR. So yeah, these larger economies are definitely leading the way.
And what about, say, France, Italy, Spain?
Yeah, looking at those and Russia as well, we see really consistent, robust growth.
Okay.
Their KGRs are typically hovering, between about 9.5% and 10.2%.
So solid, stable growth across the board, it sounds like.
Exactly. It suggests a widespread and pretty stable adoption of these services across diverse European economies. Maybe not the explosive rates of some emerging markets we might see later, but
But steady and reliable.
precisely. Steady, reliable expansion.
Okay, is there a European nugget like Mexico was for North America? A standout?
There is, actually.
Yeah.
And it highlights how, smaller players can sometimes punch above their weight.
Oh,
Who is it?
Luxembourg.
Luxembourg. Okay, that is surprising.
Right. Tiny country, relatively speaking, started at just USD 4.5 million in 2021,
Okay.
but it showed a particularly high European KG, 11.5%.
11.5. Higher than the UK and Germany.
Yep. Growing to about USD 15.5 million by 2033. So small numbers overall, but the rate of growth is notable. Really stands out.
Interesting. And the rest of Europe, collectively.
The rest of Europe, grouped together, generated about USD 50.7 million in 2021.
Right.
And that's projected to nearly triple, reaching USD 140.4 million by 2033. The CAGR there is 9.5%.
Okay, so still growing well, just slightly slower than the named countries.
Exactly, a solid performance across the continent.
All right, now let's pivot again. Asia Pacific, you mentioned this might be where the really dynamic shifts are happening.
Yes, this region truly stands out for its future growth potential. It's really quite impressive.
Okay, lay the numbers on us. So Asia Pacific reached USD 393.2 million back in 2021. Already a significant market.
Bigger than Europe, then.
Bigger than Europe in 2021, yes.
Yeah.
And it's expanding dramatically. Projected to hit over USD 1.5 billion, that's 1,528.9 million by 2033.
Wow, okay. That's a huge jump.
It is. And it boasts the highest regional CGR overall, 11.4%.
11.4%. So this is really the engine driving global growth going forward.
It certainly looks that way. It's a primary engine, absolutely.
And within that, I'm guessing China and India are major factors.
Huge factors. China led the region in 2021 with USD 113.4 million. That's projected to hit USD 454.5 million by 2033. A very strong CGR of 12.1%.
12.1. Okay. And India.
India saw even higher growth rates, a remarkable CAGR of 12.3%.
12.3.
Yeah. Climbing from USD 78.4 million in 2021 to a forecast of 332.2 million by 2033.
So incredible growth in both. What's fueling that? Is it just population size or?
Population is part of it, sure.
Yeah.
But the report points to other key drivers, too.
Yeah.
Well, rapid urbanization is a big one. The expansion of modern retail chains, not just in the big cities, but into Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities.
Right, reaching more people.
Exactly. Plus, you have an increasingly digital-savvy consumer base.
Mm-hmm.
And businesses are really leveraging in-store music to build brand identity, create appealing environments, especially as retail competition heats up.
So it's part of that whole modernization of the retail landscape.
Absolutely. And you've got this massive population base that's just sort of now fully embracing organized retail in many areas. The potential is just enormous.
Makes sense. Are there other significant players in Asia Pacific beyond China and India?
Oh, yes, definitely. It's not just a two-country story.
Good.
South Korea, for example, Australia, Southeast Asia as a whole region, Japan, too.
And how are they doing?
All showing really robust CAGRs, mostly double-digit. We're talking typically between 10.5% and 11.8%.
So strong growth across the board there as well.
Very strong. South Korea hitting nearly 150 million by 2033. Australia close to 170 million, Southeast Asia almost 300 million, Japan over 130 million.
Okay.
So it really is a regional surge, a broad embrace of these services across many diverse economies in Asia Pacific.
Right. It's not just the giants pulling everyone else along. It's widespread.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's transition now maybe to Latin America. How does that region fit into the picture? Emerging market.
Yeah, definitely an emerging market for these services. Shows its own unique patterns. Brazil is a key player there, as you might expect, growing from USD 26.4 million in 2021 to an estimated USD 86.3 million by 2033. That's a solid 10.1% CAGR.
10.1. So similar to the overall rates in North America and Europe.
Very similar rate.
Yeah.
And other countries like Argentina, Colombia, Peru, Chile, They're also showing strong, consistent growth,
Okay.
generally in that sort of 9.8% to 10.5% CAGR range.
So, again, pretty stable, strong growth, just starting from a smaller base than the bigger regions.
That's a good way to put it. The total market size is smaller, yes, but the growth trajectory indicates a similar trend, increasing investment in customer experience within retail.
Right. Makes sense. Okay, finally, let's move to the Middle East and Africa. You hinted this might be a different story.
Yeah, this region presents a notably different growth pattern compared to the others we've looked at. It offers a bit of a contrast.
Oh, so slower growth.
Generally, yes,
Yeah.
that's the main distinction. The growth rates are lower compared to the other regions.
Okay. Any specific country examples?
Sure. Take Egypt and Turkey. They are growing, but at more moderate CAGRs. Egypt's at 7.9%, Turkey at 7.4%.
Right. Definitely lower than the 10-12% we've seen elsewhere.
Significantly lower, yeah. They're reaching market sizes of around 13 to 17 million USD by 2033.
Okay.
And the rest of the Middle East grouped together shows an even lower CAGR of 6.7%.
6.7, so quite a marked difference there.
It is. It indicates a slower pace of adoption in this region.
Any insights from the report on why that might be? Different priorities, maybe?
It could be a mix of factors.
Yeah.
Different retail priorities, certainly. Perhaps different economic conditions across parts of the region. Maybe even cultural factors influencing consumer behavior or how businesses approach this kind of investment.
Interesting. So still growth, but just not at that same rapid clip we're seeing elsewhere.
Exactly. Positive growth, but comparatively slower.
Okay. So we've covered the globe. Let's try and pull this all together. What does this all mean for you, our listener?
Well, the big picture is clear, isn't it?
Seems to be.
This in-store music service market isn't just alive, it's thriving. Globally heading for over $4 billion by 2033.
Which is pretty staggering when you think about it just being, music in stores.
It really is, and we've seen this clear regional picture emerge. North America, the current heavyweight, still growing strong.
Mm-hmm.
Europe showing that steady, significant growth in mature markets. Yeah. And then the really explosive growth engine of Asia Pacific, especially driven by China and India.
Yeah, that Asia-Pacific growth is something else, but it's fascinating to see the whole range, isn't it? From
Sure.
that rapid expansion in places like Mexico and parts of Asia to the more moderate, but still very significant, growth across Europe.
Yeah.
And then that comparatively slower, though still positive, growth in the Middle East and Africa. It really paints a dynamic global landscape.
It does. And it tells us that businesses pretty much everywhere are recognizing the power of sound, of ambiance, in shaping that customer journey.
It's clearly becoming a key part of the retail toolkit.
I think so. This isn't just about background music, as we said at the start.
No.
It really speaks to the increasing sophistication of retail environments, how businesses are strategically investing in every aspect of the customer experience. Visual merchandising, scent, and yes, the auditory landscape.
It all is all connected.
It is. And understanding these trends, these numbers we've discussed, it can give you, the listener, some really valuable insights.
How so?
Well, insights into broader business strategies, into consumer psychology, maybe even into future investment opportunities in retail tech and related areas. It reflects bigger shifts.
That's a great point. It's a window into how retail is evolving.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's leave you with a final thought-provoking question to mull over.
Yeah, let's do that. Given these diverse growth rates we've explored, particularly that really pronounced difference between, say, the rapid expansion in Asia-Pacific and the a comparatively slower growth in the Middle East and Africa.
Right, that contrast was quite stark.
It was. So the question for you is, what underlying factors, cultural, maybe economic, perhaps technological, what factors do you think contribute to these really distinct paces of market adoption for in-store music services around the world? Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking into something pretty fascinating, something that affects you probably more than you realize. In-store music. The sounds you hear when you're shopping, you're eating out.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Exactly. And it's way more strategic than just like background noise. It's actually shaping your interactions, your experience as a customer.
Definitely. There's a lot going on behind the playlist.
Totally. So for this deep dive, we dug into a report called The Harmonious Commerce of In-Store Music from Cognitive Market Research.
Pretty comprehensive look.
It really is. And our goal here is to pull out the key stuff, the core insights. We want to understand how this music thing impacts businesses, sure, but also how it influences you.
Right, how it affects your choices, maybe even your mood in these places.
Precisely. We'll get into what's driving the growth, some surprising challenges, and the really cool trends happening right now.
Sounds good.
Okay, so first off, what's really pushing this forward? The report points squarely at technology, just the pace of advancement.
Mm-hmm. Technological advancement is key.
Yeah, we're seeing music getting woven into, well, everything. Digital signs, mobile apps you might be using, even those little beacon things that track proximity.
Right, it's all connecting.
It is. And it's creating what the research calls an omni-channel, immersive customer experience.
Yeah.
Fancy term, but it just means they're blending your online and offline worlds.
Making it seamless, hopefully personalized.
That's the idea.
And what's fascinating here from the vendor side is how they're using cloud technology. This really powers it all behind the scenes.
How so?
Well, it's not just about, hitting play. It actually makes things way less complex operationally for the stores, for the retailers.
Okay.
So they can offer more music, stay competitive with their content, and, maybe the biggest thing, get access to really high-quality sound systems for less money.
Ah, so it makes that personalization more achievable.
Exactly. It lowers the barrier for creating that specific vibe, that pleasant atmosphere they want.
Okay, so the tech makes it possible. But how is data actually, changing the music itself? This is where I thought it got really interesting.
Yeah, this is a big one. The report talks a lot about AI and analytics.
Hmm.
They're driving this customization of playlists. You've got smart algorithms basically learning what works.
Learning from us.
Learning from customer
That's it.
behavior, yeah. Demographics, what's happening in the store right now. It's tailoring the sound in real time.
Wow.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, retailers can actually start tracking how music affects things, like how long you might linger in one aisle versus another.
Seriously. They track dwell time based on music.
Potentially, yes. Or even buying patterns. They can use these insights to pick music for certain product zones or maybe change it up during peak hours.
That's pretty granular.
It is. And the cloud delivery makes it easy to control this across, hundreds of stores if needed. We're even seeing big moves like Mood Media buying Vibenomics.
Right, I saw that.
It's not just companies merging. It signals this move towards integrated experiential solutions. Brands have to think about everything, sight, sound,
The whole sensory package.
or risk feeling disconnected, yeah.
But it can't all be smooth sailing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even with all this cool tech. What are the roadblocks?
Definitely not smooth sailing entirely. One big issue the report highlights is compatibility. Integrating new systems with older equipment can be a real headache.
Okay, I can see that. Legacy system.
Exactly. And then there are the costs. Licensing music isn't cheap.
The rights issues.
Yes. Especially for smaller businesses, maybe medium-sized ones too. Those high licensing fees can be a significant barrier.
So it's complex legally, too.
Very. Navigating all the music rights, different rules in different places, it adds a whole layer of operational difficulty. It's not just plug and play.
This raises an important question, then. With these costs and complexities, are we seeing, new business models, maybe simpler subscription things for smaller shops? Or is that not really covered?
That's a really good point. The report doesn't explicitly detail specific new models popping up just to sidestep licensing.
Okay.
But it does stress that the whole push towards these integrated cloud solutions is partly about reducing other operational costs.
So trying to balance it out.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Making the overall package more appealing even with those licensing fees. But for now, those rights, still a major hurdle. It pushes the service providers to offer really comprehensive packages, to handle that complexity for the retailer.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. So let's zoom out a bit. The global picture. Where's the action?
Well, Asia Pacific is seeing the fastest growth.
Really? Why is that?
Mainly high digital adoption. Think smartphones, huge penetration in places like Japan, China, South Korea. People are just very connected.
Right, the infrastructure's there.
It is, and the numbers show it. Asia Pacific had, 25% of the market share in 2023?
A quarter of the whole market.
Yeah, and it's projected to hit 27% by 2024, growing at 11% per year on average. That's pretty fast.
That is fast. But who's the biggest player overall?
North America still dominates, holding around 35% of the global share.
Okay.
And across the board, really, one of the biggest opportunities is this growing demand for, you guessed it, personalization.
Back to personalization.
Always. And just generally elevating the customer experience. Retailers are using AI, using data analytics to make sure the music really fits their brand
Okay.
and fits the shoppers they want to attract. Like we said, you wouldn't play the same music in a high-end jewelry store as you would in a trendy fast fashion place.
Right. Soothing versus upbeat.
Exactly. And it's all becoming incredibly intentional.
So on that intentionality,
Hmm.
is it just about picking the right genre, or does it go deeper? Like, does the tempo affect how quickly I shop?
Oh, it absolutely goes deeper. That's a key takeaway. Successful strategies look beyond just genre.
Okay.
They're analyzing tempo, rhythm, even specific instruments. How can these elements subtly influence, say, your pace through the store? Or how long you feel like you're waiting in line? Maybe even how receptive you are to a sales pitch.
So it's like a subtle nudge.
Exactly. It's behavioral nudging, basically. Designed to enhance the journey they want you to have, not just set a general mood.
Fascinating. Okay, so we know the tech, the trends, the challenges.
Mm.
Who's actually using this most effectively? Where's the money?
Well, the research really points to cafes and restaurants.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they accounted for something like 40% of the market revenue last year. Nearly half.
And you can see why,
Hmm.
right? Good music, good vibe, you stay longer.
Order another drink, maybe dessert. It seems to improve customer retention and spending.
Yeah, absolutely. What about other sectors?
The leisure and hospitality sector also saw big growth, 12% last year. Think hotels, gyms, entertainment venues. Music is crucial for ambiance there. It adds to the perceived value.
True. Hotels especially.
And interestingly, even public organizations are getting in on it. They saw about 8% growth.
Public orgs. Like
Well,
what?
think high-stress places, maybe? Hospitals, airports, train stations. Using background music, calming soundscapes.
To reduce anxiety.
Exactly. Improve the visitor experience when people might be stressed or rushed.
Yeah.
It's moving beyond just commerce into, like, well-being.
That's a really interesting application.
It shows the broadening scope, right?
Yeah, definitely. So wrapping this all up, what's the big takeaway here?
I mean, it's clear this whole in-store music market is changing incredibly fast.
Yeah, warp speed seems about right.
Driven by tech innovation, obviously, but also this huge emphasis now on customer engagement.
And the ability to personalize things.
Totally. Using sound to curate very specific environments for you, the customer or visitor.
So as these soundscapes get more and more sophisticated, what should we be thinking about?
Well, maybe a final thought for you listening is to start noticing it more. How is sound being used intentionally in the places you go?
Become more aware of this invisible influence.
Exactly. How might it be affecting your mood, your choices, even your perception of a brand or a space? Understanding the subtle layer could really change how you see or rather hear your surroundings.